Following contest is scheduled for one fall. Representing the culmination from Ogden Marsh, Iowa, weighing in at 178 pounds, the middleweight Gory.
Now, wait a second here. I specifically stated that if, okay, they're heading to the back. Keep in mind, during culmination matches, all culmination members are barred from ringside. If anybody from the culmination interferes in matches they don't belong in, there will be consequences, BCC, including Gory, the Cogers, and Remy LeVay we'll see later.
Well, Joe, I'll tell you what, if something goes down and you need backup, I'm going to stay here.
Couldn't do it without you.
So I make the big money.
I'm looking forward to this matchup, though. If it's kept strictly athletic, this could steal the show. He has claimed to hail from Sleepy Hollow. He's a former member of Incoherence with Hallowicked and Delirious in Chikara, former Young Lions Cup champion, and he is called by many as a frenetic ball of kinetic energy, and he's also called Luchadorable. He is Frightmare. Great to see him in PCW. Set to make his debut last fall. A shoulder injury kept him on the shelf, but as soon as he came back with a doctor's note, his match with Gory was rescheduled, and these are two of the quickest athletes anywhere in pro wrestling. Forget just PCW.
Well, he better hope, Frightmare better hope that shoulder is 100% healed, because if it isn't, he's not going to have to worry about a doctor's note. He's going to worry about a coroner's tag on his toe after Gory gets done with him.
Two men who really like to use the psychological game to their advantage. Frightmare likes to scare his opponents. Didn't really work on Gory. Gory has this intimidating aura. He wants to infect the world. He's got that red mist from his mouth. He just has so many different weapons and accessories and just those cold, dead eyes that you're not ever really sure what his motivations are.
Well, if there's going to be talk about frightening, Gory is a walking nightmare.
Frightmare's getting frustrated. His luchadorable self could not intimidate Gory.
Luchador? What?
It's the most adorable attempt to scare someone ever.
Well, that was adorable, and that's what that gets you. That's what adorableness in PCW, when you're in the ring with Gory, is going to get you.
Maybe so. I wouldn't have said it would be my recommended strategy, but you got to figure something out here, because Gory has been practically unstoppable here in PCW. Only has, I think, one loss under his belt so far.
And he's got that motivation of having his followers behind him as well. You know, you want to set a good example when you have followers, whether it be a stable of individuals or a cult.
Nice takeover. Yeah, I think culmination is somewhere in between those two things. You neglected to follow up and mention the individual who has defeated Gory, that man being Andrew Palace.
See, I wasn't going to reference it because I personally don't like Andrew Palace because he rubs me the wrong way. But if you want to say that, yes, Andrew Palace does hold a victory over Gory. There, you happy now?
Yeah, I'm very happy.
You would be.
Frightmare won Young Lions Cup 8, King of Trios 2012. He was voted the Rookie of the Year by Wrestling Observer Newsletter in 2009. How about that? But can Gory add to his resume with a victory over Frightmare and continue his stranglehold in PCW? Frightmare can defeat Gory. I think Frightmare can be a very dangerous force here in PCW for some time to come.
Well, this is definitely a momentum potentially changing match for, well, I was going to say for the debut of Frightmare, but it's big for Gory as well.
Absolutely. As the pace quickens a bit, And it's tough to really pinpoint which individual in this matchup that would lead to the advantage of.
Well, it's going to be catch as catch can, and to use the phrase, don't blink because you may miss something.
There goes springboard and able to take Frightmare over.
And Gory will use every inch of that ring, the ropes, the turnbuckle pads, the post if needed. He uses everything to his advantage.
A great athletic display. And this is one of the reasons I wanted no involvement on the outside, no Kogers, no Remy LeVay. I wanted to see Gory earn this victory because he's caused a lot of havoc, no pun intended. Not the least of which, great Hurricane by Frightmare, not the least of which when he brought Crimson, the embodiment of evil, here a month ago. No one saw that coming.
I'm still a little bit uneasy and uncomfortable about that entire situation.
There he got him that time! Gory didn't know what was coming, and he flinched, and Frightmare scared him clear out of the ring. And Gory is humiliated.
Well, that's not something you really want to do. It's not something you see very often, quite frankly, with Gory. And, Joe, things like that, frightening, if you will, isn't going to win you a matchup, but it's certainly going to get under the skin of Gory, and that's when Gory gets very dangerous.
And I know you mentioned it in jest in the previous match, but it truly is an important component of this contest, the human game of chess, in the sense that Frightmare found a way to get inside Gory's head and intimidate him a little bit, even though it didn't work at the outset. Gory is clearly off his game right now.
And that's what you got to do with Gory. You know, Frightmare matches up with speed. He matches up with some of that unique offense. What he's going to have to do is get in Gory's head, get him off his game.
And Gory, nowhere to go there, almost mesmerized as Frightmare charged at him. Gory was not ready for that either. Gory's game plan, you know, it's the old adage, everybody's got a game plan until you get punched in the face. Gory is completely off his game, and he's got no Remy and no Kogers to lean back on.
And well, look, now he's trying to throw that kid out. They just struck her. Throw the kid out.
Oh, stop.
Just struck one of the wrestlers.
I'm surprised you didn't think that was a legal tag.
Oh, that's even better. I'd love to see that little 2-year-old against Gory.
That's hideous.
Make that match happen.
I am not booking Gory versus that little 2-year-old. Sorry. Springboard, and Gory connects right on the side of the face of Frightmare. I think Gory undershot his target a little bit, but was able to adapt in the air. That shows you the resolve of Gory, who sends Frightmare to the outside now.
Well, it could be what you said earlier. Gory really does seem to be off his game, not something we see very often.
That's why Gory hangs around in packs, so he has people that can help him out when he gets in trouble. Gory on his own, this is a test.
Well, and that's always been one of the things with Gory. If you can frustrate him, you can get him very angry.
Ooh.
And while it can be to his benefit, an even more vicious side of Gory, if that's possible, it can also get him frustrated, get out of his game, and the mind games start to set in.
Rake of the back, rake of the chest. Gory's just animalistic.
Wouldn't be surprised to see teeth marks in Frightmare by the end of this.
Not at all. Maybe bite a hole in that mask.
Good, then we can really see what's under there.
Well, he's luchadorable. I'm sure he's quite a fine-looking lad.
Luchadorable.
That's his nickname. I don't make this up.
I don't know, you are one to make up facts.
I do not make up facts.
Well, you're never going to be in politics.
Some of those websites you go to.
You know, there's this one, they have this little...
Gory with a reverse chinlock on Frightmare is trying to battle to his feet, turn inward to alleviate some of that pressure. Crowd really happy to see Frightmare. Great to see him in Cleveland for the first time in a number of years. Opens the pace, and Gory shuts him down. Hook of the leg, only 2.
Now, is the baby in the crowd, has she been counted out by this point?
She is not a legal participant in this matchup. She does not pass the State Athletic Commission requirements.
You know, in some states she could be.
I don't think it's because she has an injured shoulder like Rex Brody and like Frightmare. I think it's just because she's not 18. Some states, yes, but not here.
Well, in some states you can do anything. Well, never mind. Be that as it may.
I'm not sure I want to know what you know, but I don't want to know the pain that Frightmare is in as Gory stepping on the fingers of the luchadorable one, and now trying to pick up Frightmare to his feet and just continue wailing.
Well, I'd be happy to step on your feet or your fingers at any point so you can experience that pain.
Step on my feet every time we're doing commentary, pal.
I'm going to take that as an insult. That's one.
And Gory, talking about that thirst for human flesh, Gory digging in.
Well, see, Joe, here's one of the problems with... Whoa! I was going to say, here's one of the problems with wearing a mask. You can't always see the facial features. You don't know exactly what a person's... Oh, well, we know what he's going through right there. Yeah. And sometimes give a masked wrestler the ability to play possum.
Gory didn't get all of that, but Frightmare's face bounced off of that rope, which might even be more painful than if his throat had, because that whiplash effect, that could break your nose.
Well, it's an effective offense.
Great poor drop kick. Oh, man, it was all straight trajectory downward there. Gory and gravity just drilling into Frightmare and got a near fall. And Gory, you can tell he's ready for this thing to be over.
Well, he's getting frustrated. He needs to take it to Frightmare. He needs to keep the offense on. He's in control right now. He doesn't need to be arguing with the referee or worrying about the people. He needs to be laser focused. And like you've mentioned, we've said several times, he doesn't seem to have that going in this match.
Gory biting the fingers now. Stepped on them earlier, biting them now, and certainly that'll take away a lot of Frightmare's offense, not just striking, but grappling. Frightmare very adept with his legs and feet as well. He may be reduced to nothing but an aerial game, which certainly for Frightmare isn't the worst thing in the world, but you take away a large chunk of someone's offense when they can't even grab onto you.
Well, it's a smart move by Gory.
Now, wait a second, this could be the Soul Eater, that submission maneuver. If he can wrench back with him, it's almost like watching somebody's spine get bent in half and then watching the life get sucked out from their bodies.
Glad to hear that you like this just as much as I do.
I'm not saying I like it. I'm just describing the dangers of the hold. It's made many men tap out or pass out in PCW.
I agree, and it's also fun to watch when it's not happening to you. Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, is he going for the mask?
Well, we're going to find out if he's luchadorable or lucha ugly.
Frightmare trying to fight off. Keep in mind, in the lucha culture, that's the most sacred thing is one's mask. To have it ripped off of you is the ultimate insult, and it disgraces that athlete as Frightmare comes back with an elevated cutter, and Gory's in trouble. Gory favoring the throat. He might not be able to breathe, Ben.
And Frightmare was able to duck. I believe Gory was going for a clothesline, and Frightmare just flipped right through it.
I believe that was the Fright Crusher by Frightmare, connected in full on Gory, but Gory noticed the instincts get to the ropes to prevent a potential cover.
And that's a smart man's wrestler right there. Make sure you know where you're at all times. And you'd have to wonder what would have happened if Frightmare could have got the cover on Gory there early on. Gory doing the smart thing, able to get to those ropes. And there's another example of knowing where you're at all times and positioning yourself.
And using his body weight as an offensive weapon, as a projectile. Frightmare bouncing throat first off of those ring cables. And Gory, he's gotten so much more cocky and so much more arrogant since forming the combination, just mouthing off at everybody. He used to be so... always dangerous, but used to be silent in carrying out his mission of pain. He's now into the knees for two, but now he just openly ridicules everybody. Frightmare into the ropes.
Well, he has the backup to prove it. I mean...
not right now.
Well, no, but in general, we said with Wardlow, if you've got a guy like that, you're going to be confident. If you have the Cogers and Remy LeVay and Crimson, obviously, in his camp, in his fold, a friend, a phone call away, and who knows who else, I'd have that confidence too. I imagine it's like what you feel when you're with me.
Frightmare, the elbow up, gets the foot up as well. I'm just going to ignore that comment. Hurricane Rana connects. Nicely done. Frightmare still has an opportunity. Boot connects high to the side of the face of Gory. And he scared him again! I love it. Gory's still intimidated, and now he won't see this coming. Cross body, spreads out his body weight, maximum impact for two.
Well, Frightmare couldn't believe that wasn't three, as he took that split second there to check with the referee.
Look at this. Nicely done. Little shades of Johnny Storm's Wonderworld for two. Frightmare, innovative offense, but could not put Gory away. I love it.
And Gory's smart again, attempting to roll to those ropes.
I believe Frightmare calls that instant death. I first saw that with Johnny Storm in the UK about a decade ago, but Frightmare has taken that to a whole other level, but not enough to stop the monster known as Gory. Trips him up into the DDT. Frightmare planted on top of his head. Gory now into the cover. Two and up.
And we saw Frightmare's body just kind of like a lawn dart just plant right into that mat. And you can see that frustrated look on Gory's face. This is something that a little bit unfamiliar territory, I'd say, with Gory. Not having his family at ringside, and also this has been 50-50 between Gory and Frightmare.
Yeah, the last time Gory was all alone out here, he was defeated by Andrew Palos. That's got to be weighing heavily on his mind.
Man, you really love bringing that up, don't you? I'm going to tell him.
It's an important point. Wait a second. Now Gory crawls up the back of Frightmare again, trying to wear him down. Can Gory get the arms in position? No, Frightmare counters. Got the knee up. That's go to Sleepy Hollow. And that could do it. 2N, no.
Well, we mentioned it earlier, knowing where you're at.
Yeah, Frightmare shades of his buddy Hollow Wicked, but again, Gory able to get the hand on the rope, and that's all Gory could do at that point. I think if it came down to powering Frightmare off of him, this match may have been over.
Well, that's definitely what saved him, and what has this match continuing was Gory's ability to get close to those ropes. And Gory's got to get something here, either maybe a thumb to the eye, a kick when the referee isn't looking, something.
Ooh. Hard double thrust, martial arts style. Gory in with the double knees. Caught Frightmare high, right around the collarbone. That could re-injure Frightmare's shoulder easily, but Frightmare noticed just barely. A tip of the toe on the rope, and the arm for good measure as well. But that ring positioning that Gory was using, now frustrating him as Frightmare does the same thing.
Well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, as they say, and I'll hand it to Frightmare. That was smart, knowing your ring position. That comes with veteran instinct when you've been in the wrestling business for a long time. And, well, now this is getting personal.
Yeah, both athletes getting frustrated, especially Gory here, who's been psyched out and outmatched a couple of times. Frightmare goes downstairs. Head of steam. Crucifix bomb. It's a Frightmare specialty. This'll do it. 2, and he got him. No. Oh, man. Frightmare, even he had to make sure.
And I think that took half a second where Frightmare was attempting to get Gory's shoulder clear on the mat.
Oh, wait a second. Oh! Frightmare was going for that knee collapse, but Gory out of the way, and Frightmare hit knees first hard on the canvas, and now Gory bends back. That's Soul Eater. Bending the spine of Frightmare. Can he get the Dragon Sleeper in as well? He's got the clutch in, and now Gory, he's able to really cinch back now. Look at the torque of the back. The air passage cut off. Frightmare no choice but to tap out. Gory wins. Come on, break the hold, Gory. Come on.
Well, Joe, sometimes it's about sending a message, and I was going to say...
Your winner as a result of a submission, Gory.
You did your damage, Gory. And I'll give credit where credit's due. I'm a fair member of management. I'm a fair director of wrestling operations. Gory did it by himself.
Well, your first statement, debatable, but your second one, Gory did do it by himself. And I think we saw the tail end there. Frightmare slamming both of those knees into the mat. That's a good way to blow out a knee. And Gory's just angry. Gory's just mad. He's not satisfied with the win. He knows how close he came from being on the losing end.
You ever see this guy in a good mood?
You know what? That's a good point. No. He doesn't smile very often. He's not sunshine and rainbows.
There's a warning to everybody.
That's to you, hopefully.
That's to everybody. I'm sure I'm included. Gory, victorious over Frightmare. Your championship wrestling. What a match. What's next for the culmination?